Hello everyone. So welcome to the Spotting Error session, which is meant for all the competitive exams. In this series, I have taken the questions from previous year banking exams, including CGL and whatnot. So let's get started without any delay. Very, very important thing before you do any spotting error question, always read the sentence once. In case while reading, if you find something missing or if you find something tedious while reading, so that part is going to be almost 80% of the chances are that that's an error. But still, if you are unable to figure out, so don't worry, leave it up to me. Let me tell you what you have to do later. So here we go. A recent study has shown that the number of people opting for online banking are increasing steadily over the past few years. So what actually the meaning is that the recent study, what it has shown, that the number of people they are increasing slowly. Earlier it was not that, but now they are increasing. But very, very important thing, what you need to say is that in case if you are aware of one thing called collective noun, very important thing that you need to know. Collective noun. So collective noun like an army of, but here the people of India, the number of people. Fine. So whenever you take a big sample as a one single entity and which is going to act as a collective noun or a collection, in that case, for example, here, the number of, so that will take the specific. But if I say a number of, then it will become plural. So always do remember whenever you find article the before the number of or anything, so that will become specific. And if it becomes specific, it will have singular verb. Very, very important thing. Whereas in case here, if it is written a number of people, then in that case it would be absolutely correct. Fine. But here, as you can find, a number of, so due to that it will become plural. Sorry, it will take plural verb. Fine. So only and only due to the we have to opt here is. Whereas if you try to go to more and more higher standards, so this would have been like here you have to proceed has been increasing. But whereas we were like we are only asked about the error, so we need to stick to this. So here answer would be is. Okay. Next, read the next sentence. At the last meeting, which was held in August last year in Brussels, half of the members submitted their resignations on protest. Don't you think there is something, yeah, something fishing, right? Always do remember, but before getting into this, let me tell you the meaning. At the last meeting, which was held in August, okay, in Brussels. So Brussels is a place as the meeting was held. Half of the members they submitted their resignations, and where they submitted in protest, not on protest, as we said during the protest. Now, very important thing, as you can see in August, it means in case of months, sorry, in case of months, always and always you have to use in always. In case of place, like Hyderabad, Mumbai, so in case of place as well, you have to go with in. In case of year as well, you need to go with in. But how about, and these are known as fixed prepositions, okay? In case of day, you need to go with on, like on Monday, on Wednesday, on Thursday. In case of date, on 5th, on 6th, fine. So here answer is going to be in. Absolutely correct. So option D has the error. So do remember there are certain things known as fixed prepositions, and always we need to stick to this particular thing. Now, very, very easy question. Despite of his busy schedule, he managed to complete all his tasks well before the deadline. And even in the last part, you'll find no error. Very important thing. This one. Despite we never use of. Why? Because despite itself has the included of. So despite is equals to in spite of. And in most of the one day exams, you'll find this. Whereas in our regular speaking, we say despite of. So please, please, please don't use despite of. Just say despite rain. That's it. Or in spite of rain. Fine. But don't use despite of. So error is in part A. So just correct by removing off. Hope it's clear. Now, let's move on to the next question. Each of the students in the class are required to submit their chemistry assignments by the end of the week. Yes, by the end of the year. So these are fixed prepositions, by the way. So what you need to observe is this again. See, in most of the spotting error questions, you just have to observe the subject plus verb plus object or subject verb agreement. Sorry, subject verb agreement. It means whether the verb is agreeing with the subject or not. So whenever you come across each, but before letting you know the details about that question, let me explain you the concept. There is a concept of distributive pronoun. It means words like each, every, either, neither, everyone, anyone, they are known as distributive pronouns. And also determiners, and they always pose it as individuals. So whenever you find each, every, so they are taken as individuals. Fine. Now let me show you. So each of the students in the class, they are required. No, each of the students, it means I'm talking about individual student. So whenever you take individual, so with singular we always go with is, not are. So error is in part B. Fine. One more important thing that you need to remember in such exams, here particularly, okay, they used to stress on his or her, whereas in this particular question paper, they have not. But also remember this small mistake. Fine. Now let's go ahead. Next question. Companies like Infosys are moving fast on automation. No need to worry. Again, you might be checking. I know, 100% sure that you might be checking. Okay, companies like, okay, only one company. So obviously this is error. No, already it's given companies like, companies more than one. Okay, so only one example. Even if I remove this, companies are moving, that's it. Even that is also going to be fine. So here it's not an error. Companies like Infosys are moving fast on automation and AI to ensure differentiation at a time where the technology industry and business models are undergoing rapid changes. You may find that there is no error, but now you have to be a bit specific. For example, they are moving fast on automation and AI to ensure differentiation at a time. Whenever the factor of time comes, always do remember this particular thing. In case of time, we have to use when, and where is always used in case of place or physical location. Fine. So if you can see differentiation at a time, when the technology, now we are being a bit specific. Okay. So here, instead of using where, you have to use when. Fine. Now let's go ahead. Hope it's clear. Yeah. So earlier we were only concentrating on subject verb agreement. Now we are being a bit specific. Next, she has visited more countries in a year than I have did in my lifetime. You may say that she has visited more countries. I need to replace it with many. No, 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 no. Don't do that mistake. Many and more both are same. So it's absolutely correct. So one thing you need to know is about tenses. In case why? Because this particular, yeah, one more very, very important thing I would like to tell you, that in case of spotting error, almost 40 to 50% of the spotting error, or even you can say 60%, are only and only based on tenses. So in case if you want to know the practical use of tenses, and if you want to have the syntax and everything, so you can visit my channel, I mean the same channel, go to the playlist, and over there, um, in the playlist, you'll find a spoken English course new. In that, or even in the course part, you'll find, and then you can visit tense, and over there you can have all the syntaxes in detail. Okay. If you even want, you can comment in the comment section. I will provide you. Fine. So let's get started. She has visited more countries in a year than I have did. No, 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 no. See, it is following present perfect. Okay. Present perfect follows subject plus have or has plus V3 plus object. Fine. So as you can see, subject plus has plus V3. Very nice. Absolutely fine. But how about here? I have did, no, I have done. So this part has the error. Fine. Okay, as you can see. Then I have done in my lifetime, or in case if you don't add done, that's even fine. Then I have in my lifetime. Fine. Now, scarcely had they entered the building when the fire alarm started ringing. Now, what to do with this? Let's get started. What we need to do, whenever you come across certain things scarcely, always do remember this thing. Scarcely or hardly, if required, you can take the snap of this particular slide, so that always you can be aware about certain things. So in case if you find that a sentence is starting with scarcely or hardly, always you need to follow this particular structure, that is scarcely or hardly followed by auxiliary verb, that's nothing but helping verb, obviously, had or did followed by subject plus main verb. Let's check whether this sentence has the thing. So scarcely plus auxiliary verb had, then subject, and then a main verb V3, then followed by when as well. As you can see, pair standards. Scarcely, then obviously you have to use when or before. But what they'll do, sometimes they'll give than or then. So always to remember. If hardly, then again when and before, but don't follow with then or than. Barely, followed by when or before, but not in this trap. But in case of no sooner, you need to have than, but they'll give when or THEN, even the spelling mistakes. Fine. So here, what is the error part? Scarcely had they entered the building when the fire alarm started ringing. So there is no error at all. Fine. So this particular thing you need to remember. Okay. Now let's go ahead. Now, one more very, very crucial, very important, and really you like after this. The teacher, along with her students, were waiting. You may say, yes, absolutely, it's correct, sir. But I would say, no, her students. So this verb is, I should not align with this. What I need to do is I must align with the other part. Now, let me tell you the rule. See, the rule is when two nouns. So, in case if you don't know what is noun, don't worry. Noun is nothing but name. Fine. So, if two names or pronoun is nothing but he, she, they, and all this, like instead of name. So, if two names or two pronouns are joined by specific connecting phrases, and what are those phrases? Along with, together with, as well as, in addition to, besides, accompanied by, governed by. If two nouns or pronouns they are joined by these phrases, then the verb must agree with the first subject, means the one which will be at the first. So here, as you can see here, Very, very important. Yes. Here I need to follow according to the teacher. Fine. So the teacher along with her students was. Why? Because teacher being the singular, and with singular I have to use was, not were. Fine. So not only for this question, like this will be quite and very much useful for upcoming exams as well. So in case, don't just stick to this question, even go with explanation part. If required, you can take the snap of this, or even if required, like you can download. It's not mandatory that you have to waste your data all the time. No, just take the a snap of this and keep watching whenever you are available or you find your free time. Now, we easily yes, just now we have discussed despite of her. Yes, absolutely correct. Okay, so you have to, as you have checked and guessed absolutely correctly, despite her. Okay, I mean, so no need to check further. Why? Because in case of one day exams like banking, CGL, there will be only one and one error only. You will not find more than one. So quickly, let's move on to the next one. The information on the website, as well as, do you remember this? As well as, just now we have discussed, as well as, fine. So don't forget, as well as in the brochures, need being the V1, and V1 is used with plural, whereas with singular we have to use V1 plus S or ES. Again, this follows the simple present. Again, the tense concept. In case of simple present, do remember, in case if you want, as I told you earlier, you can go to the playlist and check the playlist related to tenses. Um, sorry, spoken English course, or even go to the course part. Over there you can check each and every tense I have explained with the syntax in detail. Fine. So how about the syntax here? Subject plus V1 or V1 plus S or ES plus object. Now, how about this? So if your subject is going to be I, we, you, they, fine, or any plural names, two names, in that case you have to use V1. But if it is he, she, or any name, or even in case of it, you have to use V1 plus S or ES. Fine. So here the information, do you remember the? And the moment you use the, and by the way, we don't say informations, we say only information. Even though you got lot of information, but you have to say only information, not informations, right? And the information becomes very specific. So according to this, you have to use needs. You should not say need. So error is in the part C, and we have corrected it. Fine. Now, here is the next one. The see, whenever you go through the spotting error questions, always and always do follow one thing. First check subject verb agreement, only then go with the next. In case, so step by step. The matter is, obviously it's correct, is strictly irrelevance at this point in the proceeding. So it seems to be no error, but yes, there is. The matter is strictly irrelevance. Don't you think, like, while reading we are facing a bit difficulty here? Yes, we are facing, obviously. So the matter is strictly irrelevant. Why? Because this is an explanation. Irrelevance is an abstract noun, whereas irrelevant is an adjective. And very important thing, after adverb, that is strictly, see, adverb is nothing but wherever you find ly, simply do remember, sometimes it changes, but almost 80% of the time, whenever you find ly, after that always you have to use adjective or verb. Only these two things you need to use. But other than these two, if you find anything, then that is going to be the error. Okay, so here what's the right thing? Irrelevant. Next, the audience were becoming restive as they waited, okay, for the performance to begin. Do you remember the audience? Yes, yes, yes. The audience is becoming, not are becoming restive. Fine. Okay, as just now. collective noun, team, committee, the jury. Whenever you find these things, always do remember it becomes singular. Now Rahul goes to a new school next term. Again, tense. Just now I told you so. Please do follow the tenses part. Okay. Or else, even if you want, you can purchase my book. You can visit my site as well. It's amitpande.in. If you'll visit this site, you'll find almost you have to pay hardly like 180 bucks. Okay. And you'll get. Fine. Sure. So in that, like I have not only mentioned about the tenses and everything. It's a collection of all the things, including articles, prepositions. Okay, but at the basic level, for the advanced things, like as I'm preparing, and you'll find the book very soon in the market. Now, Rahul goes to a new school next term. So next term, next month, next year, everything comes under simple future. Fine. So simple future, but simple future follows the syntax subject plus will or shall plus V1 plus object. Fine. So here Rahul, and with Rahul, obviously I have to use will. So here Rahul will go to a new school next term. Okay, so error is in the part A. Now, Rome is further. Rome is further. What is, see, further is not right. Further means next. So Rome is next from London. Then see how you can say than. Than is used in case of comparative degree. Fine. So there are degrees like positive, comparative, and superlative. So due to spelling mistake it became, but for us we need to find the error, and error is this. Let me show you. See, Rome is farther. So what is a positive degree? Far. Rome is actually far, farther, and farthest. Fine. So whenever you come across the words like than, that shows comparison, and here we have to use this the comparative degree, and it is farther. Fine. Now let's move on. They quickly tell the answer. Yes. They along with, whenever you find along with as well as, always go with subject. They along with their instructor is going. No, it has to be are going. I hope by now you have commented your answer. Yes, absolutely good. Now let's move on to the next thing. The regulator's decision to postpone. Did I show you the answer? Oh, just forget, right? The regulator's decision to postpone the implementation was attributed partly to industry pressure and partly due to legal. Okay, no need to read all this. See, as you can see, partly and one more. Okay, whenever you come across something, always do remember it follows parallelism. And what is that parallelism concept? Look here. Like, if something is used like partly to A, obviously partly to B. That's a perfect balance. But here, as you can see, partly to and again partly due to. Why so biasness? So due to this biasness, this part will be the error. So this, like whenever you come across such things, if you find same thing, so exact match has to be here. That's it. No need to read further. That's it. Okay. And thus we say parallelism. Parallelism in the sense, the more higher you go, the more cooler you. So here, higher and cooler. This is known as parallelism. Fine. So in the same way, even here, you need to follow this parallelism concept. That's it. Now, that there exists no recourse for citizens if environmental violations condoned, at the ministerial level. Okay, you might be worrying that do we need to read all this? No, you don't have to. You just need to remember this. Okay, a complete noun clause, even you don't have to remember. Okay, simply singular takes singular verb. That's it. Fine. Now, so what it has to be? Okay, is are controlled. And here, as you can see, that there exists no recourse for citizens if the environmental violations condoned at the ministerial level underline no, no. That there exists no recourse for citizens if the environmental violations condoned at the ministerial level underlines singular. See here, okay. Even you don't have to remember what is this noun clause. Fine. So you just need to remember with singular, you have to follow singular verb. Fine. As you can see, if the focus is on noun clause, subject verb agreement is under lines. And that is what we need to figure out. Option C. Oh, fine. Don't you think this seems to be a small? Okay, fine. Only this one. Yeah. That the number, okay, anyhow, you have seen. So let me explain you this. The rule of proximity. And what is that? When two subjects are connected by neither nor, either or, not only but also, or the verb must agree with the subject closest to it. Just now, as related to those phrases I told, you have to follow according to the first one. But here, if you find something similar to this, so verb will agree to the second subject or the one which is near and dear to that. So that none of the representatives found the proposal viable is less surprising than the fact that the neither the chairperson nor the legal counsel were no was fine briefed for it. Okay, so we are following this. So here it has to be was. Always do remember this. Whenever you come across such things, you have to go with the verb which is near to this. Fine. Now, even here, you can neither the projection of growth nor the estimation of deficit trends appear to have. Okay, the estimation of deficit trends appears to have. Okay, now, okay, anyhow, like we have discussed singular, fine. So shall we discuss all this? See, just now we have discussed this. Just remember, neither nor always use the verb must follow the one which is near to not. That's it. But here, okay, it seems to be something. Okay, the policy aims to neither penalize. No, the policy aims to penalize neither. Okay, fine. Okay, so this thing is missing. Okay, even sometimes such silly things also will take you right. I never thought while I was preparing, I thought like there might be some major one. So it is very silly and very minor thing. The error is in this part. Why? Because the policy aims to penalize neither the first time offenders nor those. So this must come here and this should go there. Yeah, probably this is the neither grammatical structure A plus not grammatical structure. Fine. Okay. See, same thing is written. The policy aims to penalize neither first-time offenders. Fine. Next, I would like to take a moment to summarize briefly the facts that I have presented. Don't you think I have presented? Okay, let me see. Competitive exam tautological uses summarize briefly. Repeat again. Okay. One more thing. Summarize and briefly. Okay. So summarize and briefly, both the things are same. So we should not use this. Only summarize is enough. Whereas one more thing is here. I have presented here. Okay, so all these things we'll discuss, or you want me to discuss right now? Okay. Anyhow, like these are the very basic things. Okay. See, hope you may remember. 13 MAs and 7 bachelors besides the president. If there is any important, I'll definitely discuss one. He took us all out to dinner at one of the, okay, this is error, one of the best Japanese restaurants. Yes, do remember, in case, very, very important, whenever you find one of the best, one of like whatever it might be, for example, if you have to tell about any particular ruler, so he is one of the best among like of all the rulers of his time. In the same way, you need to remember, whenever you go with superlative degree, always do remember superlative degree, you have to use plural with the noun, plural noun. Okay, as you can see. Okay, one of the friends, fine. If Vikas had known that he would learn so much, he will have. This is important actually. It is similar to the scarcely one. See, if, okay, if clause. So if subject plus had, one more thing, the same if clause you'll find in simple present and simple future as well. But this is special case. Whenever you find something, you need to remember this structure. If followed by subject, then followed by had plus v3. And the main clause, it means in the other part, you need to follow this thing. Subject would have, then v3. Let's see if we are following. If subject had v3 and subject would, there is something missing. What is that? Have. Okay, would have learned, would have v3. See, subject would have v3, and this thing is, we are missing that he would have. Okay, he will not have given a fine if you had, no, 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 no. Okay, if you have apologized. Okay, so all the things seems to be the same. Okay, so that's all for the day. In case if you want more and more, so we'll discuss in our next class. So till then, keep learning and keep enjoying. Thank you.